Roll in the city where the deals get done. Hey, numbers second to none.
Today's guest is Nate Campbell, better known in boxing as the Galaxy Warrior. Nate is a former unified lightweight world champion who captured the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO titles before transitioning from professional athlete to gym owner, coach, media host, and community mentor. Today, we'll explore the journey behind the championships, the business of developing fighters, and how lessons from the ring can help people win in life and leadership. Welcome to the show, Nate.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm so excited to talk to you. I have watched you over the years just grow your business. I have watched you as a champion years ago just win and continue to get back up. And so I'm excited to talk about that. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now let me ask you this. You began your professional boxing career later than many fighters. What convinced you that becoming a world champion was still possible?
I'm going to be honest with you. I was a great athlete growing up. Athletically, I was always talented. I could run fast, jump high. But I knew that I wasn't going to be a track star because I didn't like the 100-yard dash. I wasn't going to be the fastest man in the world. Mm-hmm. I was more of a 200 and a 400 guy. I was an endurance sprinter. Is what they called me.
Okay.
I was an endurance sprinter. I was great at cross country. I played basketball. I was an outstanding point guard. I even played football in Pop Warner. And if it wasn't for that swimming thing, that water thing, I'd have tried swimming too. But but it was just what it was. It was crazy for me. But athletically, I was always really athletically a sound, guy. And everybody thought I was going to go to. They really thought I was going to go farther in basketball than I went. I got married at 19, and stayed married for 14 years. I had jobs. I went and got a job. I worked. I did what was necessary, but I still was a weekend warrior basketball player. I played every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I was still that guy. But boxing was my love. Boxing was that one thing I always wanted to do. My uncle taught me to box the same day that my cousin taught me to play basketball. The very same day. I was 5 years old. Both of them taught me how to. But the thing about it was there were no boxing gyms. There were plenty of basketball courts.
So availability really was a thing for you starting the basketball. Okay,
right.
But then
because I was able to work on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And at 17, I went back to a boxing gym, and I don't think that I was I wasn't focused as I could have been.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was at a pro gym.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a pro gym with guys like Tommy Richardson and Leon Shaw, who fought Larry Holmes.
Wow.
And a guy named Danny who used to kick it, and he beat the sleeves off of me. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. And they called me back to play summer league basketball. I was like, yep, I'll do it. Now get on with him, because I didn't understand that the growing pains of what it took in the growing pains of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me 7 years to get my head wrapped around boxing.
Wow. And what age was that? Was that 12 or?
No, 24.
Oh, okay. You saying after you, okay. Because I know you said you you learned at 5, but when you,
5.
5, but gosh, oh wow.
I learned. My uncle ended up. Our uncle got in trouble. He went back inside behind the wall, and there was nobody to stay with me and show me the stuff. So I knew of some simple basics, but I liked it. I liked what I was doing. And he said, "You got to keep doing this. You got to keep doing this. It's a good. You can do this. You be good at this." And he taught me to box as a southpaw, so I had right hand forward. And at 17, I was still fighting southpaw, and I went to a gym at 24 with a guy named Frank Jimenez, Galaxxy Boxing.
Okay.
Boxing at the Galaxy, and it was a computer store up front, and there was no name to the gym. We just called it Galaxxy Boxing because the name of the computer store was Galaxy.
That's where Galaxy comes from. Okay.
And that's where the 2 X's come from. And the mural was Boxing at the Galaxy was the name of it. And
wow, that's a cool story how you got to Galaxy Warrior. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like,
go ahead.
I couldn't love a place more than I ended up loving this place.
Nice.
And I'm talking about
a wonderful story.
Yeah, I take some most vicious beatings at Galaxxy Boxing.
I bet you gave a few too.
Oh no, I didn't give a few in the beginning.
Right.
There was a guy named Jim Leary. God bless him. He was a Georgia State Patrolman. He was up in Kingsland, the area, Camden County, Kingsland area, that area up there. And when I tell you this dude would beat me, I told him one day, "You don't like black people." He said, "No, it's just you, baby. Trust me, it's just you." He would beat me viciously, and every time I would see his car pull in, and I see that Georgia tag on his car, under my breath I'd cuss. I would just cuss.
He beat you to cussing, huh?
Oh, he would beat me. He would beat me.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
It would be bad, but I learned, and eventually I got where I could hold my own, and I just got better. I got better. And
that's awesome. Let me ask you this. So, speaking of learning, what was the turning point when you stopped seeing boxing only as a sport and started understanding it as a business?
You know, the sad part about it was it took me years to understand the business part, because boxing for me, I was a part of the old guard. I'm a part of the old guard. You don't talk to other promoters. You don't talk. I was a part of the old guard. Roy Jones was probably the first one that started the new guard.
Okay.
He had his own promotional company with Bodyhead. Roy Jones presents. He was the first one to do that. No one had done it before that we knew of.
Yeah, Roy's so smart. I really treasure the opportunity to meet him through you. Very good guy. So, how did your experiences with promoters, trainers, contracts, career management shape the way you now advise your young fighters?
I'm considered like a Bible of boxing. Guys call me.
Wow.
Big time guys call me and ask me questions. That kids are trying to become big time amateurs, and they ask me questions, and I look at the contract and I'll break the contract down. I'll take a contract and I'll mark it up with all these red X's and these marks, circle stuff, put arrows by stuff. And they're like, what? I said, all this stuff is stuff you gotta talk about. And the cool thing about it was the first person to ever take control of my career was Frankie Menace. Then he turned me on to a guy named Jimmy Waldrop, who's been knowing Roy his whole life. But Jimmy's a matchmaker, but he was also a manager. He was my manager.
Okay.
Jimmy never cheated me, never lied to me, never took nothing from me. Jimmy once told a guy that, said, "I'm gonna tell you right now, Nate Campbell, he'll cold T told Roy, he'll cold T fight. I'm gonna tell you, ain't no cat hair in this crap. He'll come see you. He can punch a ton and he ain't afraid." And he spoke, he hollered, oh man, he loved me. He loves me to this day. But Jimmy said something that was wonderful. He said, I made $56,000 and Nate Campbell never had to steal from him 1 cent. And he was honest with me. And he sat me down and taught me how to go through contracts, what to look for. Taught me the basics. Because my contract with Jimmy was a basic state contract. This is what you get, this is what I get.
Right.
My first major contract was with Main Events. But before that, I was dealing with a guy named Mike Gerald. God bless him, he's gone now. Mike Gerald was so honest. I never worried about it. I didn't have to worry about it. He was just so above board. And Mike was that guy. Mike was, we call it the way he talked, Gerald Bonnets. He had a raspy voice. He told like this right here. He just would tell you, I'm going to give you this. This is what you're going to get. And this is what you're going to fight. This is what the way it's going to be. And this is what it's going to be. And that's what it was. And so I didn't have to ask much more than that. And I didn't have to ask much more than that. But when I went to Main Events, that was my crash course.
Okay.
Gary Shaw signed me to Main Events. So you know I'm old school. If I knew this when Gary Shaw was running Main Events.
Okay.
So before he had Shaw, he opened his own company.
Gotcha.
And he signed me as a 130 pounder, basically to keep me away from Rocky Juarez, Juan Diaz, and Panchito Bajado. They didn't have a 130 pounder. So they had the hottest 126 pounder, Rocky Juarez, and this is what was told to me. And they didn't have a 130, and they had Juan Diaz that was coming up, that was the 135 pounder, and Panchito fought between 40 and 47.
Okay.
So I was fighting at all 5 weights.
Oh my goodness.
26, 30, 30, 26, 30, 35, 40, and 47. I was fighting all 5 weights. And I had knockouts at all weights. I was 19 over 17 knockouts. And I was knocking everybody out. And I was at the place where you either had to fight me or stay away from me. And it was cheaper for them to stay away from me because there was too many ways for me to get in. 26, 35, and 40. So they signed me and they did good by me. I didn't always agree with the stuff that happened between us at the time, but I didn't understand the business part.
Right. Okay. And I bet I bet when young fighters sit under you, I mean, just in this couple of minutes, you explained a gamut of things to consider in the fight game and business.
Right. And I learned I got my first learning. I learned my first lessons came through Main Events. Wasn't bad, wasn't horrible. It was just eye-opening and illuminating. Then I ended up going to Lou DiBella, and I fell out with Lou because I was telling them that I had to go to 135, and they wouldn't let me go to 35, and I was blacking out, but I wasn't telling them the whole story. I wasn't explaining to them that, dude, I'm blacking out. I'm blacking out in rounds. I'm coming to in rounds. And I wasn't telling anybody that. And I could make 35. I couldn't make 20. I could make 20. I could make 30, but I wasn't the same at 30 anymore. And I grew out of 30. I grew out of 26 from fighting at 30. And I grew out of 35 from growing as a man.
Right. Makes sense.
You know, right. And at 28 years old, 30 years old, your body starts to do some stuff. And so when I lost to Roddy Keaton, I went on to fight a few fights without anybody, and I got with Joe DeGuardia. And by this time, I'm fighting at 135, and I'm a terror. I'm back on a tear again. I'm back on a tear again. And Joe DeGuardia and my contract ended. We had a 3-fight deal, and it ended. And to this day, I look at all my promoters. I look at all of them, and I thank them for what I learned from them. And Joe DeGuardia, I ended with Joe DeGuardia. I had a co-promotion with Joe DeGuardia because my promoter was Terry Tracus of One Punch Productions at that time, who did great. He was good for me. Terry gave me anything I needed, did everything for me, and he was just the best promoter in Florida. And he wasn't as big as everybody, but he worked hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
That's
he
awesome.
and he brokered a deal with Don King.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and sat down with Don King, and I went in thinking Don King's a a-hole because everything I had heard was all bad about DK, and so I approached it that way. And you out to get me? You out to get me? I know you out to get me, but I need you because you got Juan Diaz. I want to fight Juan Diaz, so I'm gonna sign this 3-year deal, and this 1-2. And I made it very argumentative and combative with Don King a lot of times when it didn't have to be, because DK is DK. The one thing I learned about DK, who is one of my favorite people in the world to this day, I get along with him. I think he's like the world of him. I know who he is. I understand that he's business first. Everything else is what it is. But I learned so much that I told the dude one time. I said, bro, I heard somebody say, John David. They was talking about John David working for Kovalev, and Kovalev is racist. That's what they said. He's a racist, and he's this, and he's that. And I looked at the person that was saying it. I said, you think the black folk haven't been working for racists in America since the country was, I made a pertinent statement. Yeah. I said, racist people everywhere. I said, I was raised in the South, so getting called as much as it pays somebody else, because I've heard it before.
Right.
And I'm Jacksonville, and as we say, I'm Jacksonville, Florida. I'm down here, but we don't use ours. If you supposed to go, you supposed to go to Florida. You know what I'm saying? It's order, not or. And I keep telling people that. I say, y'all got to understand something. Y'all want to be y'all want to mess up y'all money about some foolishness. Yeah. I ain't with it. Yeah. I just ain't with it. Yeah. I ain't the one that's with it. I'm going to tell you right now, I had 3 daughters to feed. I'm going to get the money to feed my kids. I don't care about what he feel about me. Make the money match the fight. I'm going to get what. Because DK was honest about that. DK said, they don't call you what they want to call you. And you got to be okay with it. Learn some valuable lessons from Don King. And I think that DK is just that guy. I think that you can never take away what he has done. We should never try. And I'm tired of everybody making him out to be the bad guy. Everybody talk about what Don King took from them, but they don't never tell that he loaned them the money first. Yeah. I didn't take. By the time I got to Don King, I learned you don't take advances. You don't take advances. You don't take an advance against your purse. There was a great movie called Cadillac Records. And
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember when Howlin' Wolf came in there? He said, "You don't need an advance." I never bet against the stone. I never bought against the stone.
Yeah. Wow. What a valuable point and lesson. Just that there. I mean, you could probably lay out a slew more of lessons. I can just imagine in my mind these young fighters probably, when you start speaking, they just probably like deer in headlights to just listen to every
they don't
they drop every bar you drop.
They don't, but the problem is
really?
Okay, perfect example. You look at, and I'm not trying to single him out, but Chris Stevens is in the news going back and forth talking real greasy. Mayweather would have beat Sugar Ray Robinson. Never in his life. He had a better chance of beating stage 4 cancer throughout his body than beating Sugar Ray Robinson. Emmanuel Stewart didn't know what he was talking about.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah. So there's a knowledge that comes out of this thing that you can't get. There's a knowledge that comes that you can't get unless you go to somebody who's got it.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that, because I think that is the foundation of business in general, not just boxing, but business. People, you can't really learn it unless you do it.
Right.
That's why people go to business school and go to college, and I laugh when they get out and they're talking to me. I'm, 20-something, 20 plus years, 25 plus now years in of some kind of entrepreneurial endeavor. And it's just funny when people talk to you as if they know and never experienced it. Sort of like what Mike Tyson say. Everybody got a plan till you get
To
punched,
get punched in the mouth. Everybody got punched to get punched in the mouth. And I told the dude that, I say, y'all have no idea. Y'all have no earthly idea. Y'all have no earthly idea how great it was to grow up in the era of boxing that I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the greatest era of boxing ever. Probably.
Yeah. Oh, that's an argument, or that's a debate I'll have with anyone all day long. I mean, everybody had to fight good people. It wasn't a whole bunch of setups.
Whole bunch of trash. Y'all got a whole bunch of trash on the line.
Yeah.
And when I hear these guys talk, I had a guy tell me one time about these lightweights today. I said, bro, y'all don't understand. I fought when Juan Diaz, David Diaz, Julio Diaz, Castillo Corrales, Popo Freitas, Casamayor, Marquez, Pacquiao. Yeah, you don't ain't no slide through the cracks and fight.
Ain't no slide through the cracks.
No, you got to see somebody.
Yep.
Kid Diamond. I had to beat Kid Diamond. Matt Zegan, 37-1 when I beat him. Kid Diamond was 20-0 when come on. Y'all, these kids now, they're ranking these kids. These kids are ranked with 4 and 5 fights. Right. And ain't fought nobody. They winning world titles with 12 fights. I said, dude, there's some stuff I can say that I really don't say because it don't matter to me no more. But I'm like, dude, y'all stop playing with me. Stop playing with the fighters who I know boxing. It'd be different if I was just a guy that did it. But I was a fan and a historian of boxing before I started doing it. You know.
And not just that. I mean, Nate, come on, man. You got WBA, IBF, WBC, WBO. You talking multiple weight class. I mean, you built different, dude.
and I did it with no crazy amateur pedigree. I had 36 amateur fights.
That's crazy.
I became an Olympic alternate with 36 amateur fights.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Listen, let me ask you this. What inspired you to build Galaxxy Boxing Refuge? And let me ask you this. What does the word refuge represent in its mission?
Well, what it means, I'm giving kids a place. I'm giving kids a place. Boxing was my refuge.
Makes sense.
I'm giving what's the word? Boxing was my refuge, so I want to give kids a refuge also.
Okay. So beyond the development of boxing skills, what qualities are you trying to build in the young people and athletes you coach?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm trying to, first of all, teach human beings. I want good human beings.
Yeah.
Good men, good women. Accountability. Good God. I'm so sick. And Miss Kimberly, I tell women all the time, I got daughters. If you wrong, you wrong.
Want to hear the full interview and learn more about Nate Campbell, the Galaxxy Warrior? Visit rollinthecity.com. Find out how you can partner with Nate and help the community and youth through his boxing programs. Thank you for listening and rolling with us. See you next time.